Beneath our feet lies one of nature's most sophisticated yet overlooked networks. For over 100 million years, ants have been dispersing plant seeds in a remarkable partnership called myrmecochory. This ancient relationship affects an estimated 11,000 plant species globally and has profound implications for forest ecosystems worldwide. Today, we'll explore this hidden world where tiny six-legged couriers respond to complex chemical signals, creating one of the most successful ecological partnerships on Earth. The scale of seed dispersal by ants is truly staggering. In eastern North American deciduous forests, myrmecophorous plants represent up to 30 to 40% of all herbaceous understory flora. In Australian sclerophyll forests, this figure approaches an astonishing 50% of plant species. The biomass of seeds moved annually by ants in some ecosystems can exceed several kilograms per hectare, making these tiny insects among the most significant physical forces reshaping the forest floor. This isn't just a minor ecological footnote. It's a fundamental process that has been shaping terrestrial ecosystems since before flowering plants as we know them today had even evolved. Despite operating almost entirely beneath our notice, this ancient mutualism represents one of the most enduring partnerships in nature's history. At the center of this relationship is a specialized structure called the elaiosom, a lipid-rich appendage attached to seeds of myrmecophorous plants. These structures contain no plant DNA or reproductive material. They serve purely as payment for transportation services. Recent research by Palfi and colleagues revealed that elaiosomes aren't merely fatty treats but sophisticated chemical signaling devices. They contain specific diglycerides that mimic the chemistry of insect corpses, essentially tricking ants into treating plant seeds as they would dead insects. By producing compounds that trigger the ant's corpse-carrying behavior, plants have effectively hijacked pre-existing ant behavioral patterns that evolved for colony hygiene and nutrition. The biochemical analysis conducted by Boyero's team identified over 140 distinct compounds in the elaiosomes of just 24 plant species, demonstrating the remarkable chemical diversity underlying this seemingly simple structure. For plants, the investment is substantial. In species like trilliums and bloodroot, the elaiosom can represent up to 30% of the seed's caloric content, underscoring the evolutionary importance of successful dispersal. What makes this system truly remarkable is its chemical sophistication. Dr. Elsa Youngstedt's 2018 study demonstrated that different plant species have evolved chemically distinct elaiosomes that target specific ant species most effective at dispersing their particular seeds. Some contain oleic acid compounds that broadly attract many ant species, while others produce specialized chemical cocktails that recruit only certain high-efficiency dispersers. The Australian plant Acacia terminalis, for instance, produces elaiosomes containing compounds that specifically attract the ant Rhytodopinera metallica, which disperses its seeds 10 times farther than other local ant species. This specificity extends beyond simple attraction. Research by Galata and Dorman revealed that some plant species incorporate secondary compounds in their elaiosomes that temporarily suppress the digestive enzymes of non-target ant species, preventing them from efficiently processing the elaiosome. Conversely, preferred disperser species possess specialized enzymes that can rapidly metabolize these compounds, giving them a competitive advantage. Even the timing of chemical signal release is precisely calibrated. Many myrmecophorous plants incorporate volatile compounds that degrade rapidly after seed release, creating an urgency effect that prioritizes quick collection by ants. Chromatography studies identified short-chain aldehydes in several violet species that lose 90% of their potency within just 12 hours of seed release. This intricate relationship represents an evolutionary arms race that has been ongoing for millions of years. Plants must make their elaiosomes attractive enough to entice ants but not so nutritious that the ants simply consume the seed itself. Meanwhile, particular ant species have evolved mandibles specifically shaped to carry elaiosom-bearing seeds efficiently. Dr. Lana Cheng's research documented how some plant species have even developed precise timing mechanisms in their seeds. The Trillium genus in North America, for example, releases seeds precisely when its preferred ant dispersers are most active, avoiding periods when seed predators are foraging. The co-evolutionary dynamics extend to physical adaptations as well. Microscopic examination by Fernandez-Marin's team revealed specialized structures on the mandibles of dedicated seed-dispersing ant species that allow them to grip seeds without damaging them, structures absent in closely related species that don't participate in myrmecochory. Similarly, seed coats of myrmecophorous plants contain specialized cell layers that resist digestive enzymes present in ant nests while simultaneously absorbing beneficial soil microbes that enhance germination success. Perhaps most fascinating is the emergence of specialized behaviors in both partners of this ancient relationship. Some ant species have developed distinct handling protocols specifically for elaiosomes-bearing seeds, carrying them differently than other objects of similar size and weight. Particular appendages species employ a unique mandibular grip that protects the elaiosome from damage during transport, preserving its nutritional value until it reaches the nest. On the plant side, species like Asarum canadense, commonly known as wild ginger, have evolved seed release mechanisms, including a small spring-loaded catapult that propels seeds toward areas where their preferred ant partners typically forage. These behaviors demonstrate the depth of coevolution between these partners, not just at the chemical or physical level, but in terms of complex behavioral adaptations that maximize the efficiency of this mutualistic relationship. The implications of myrmecochory extend far beyond just the plant-ant relationship. When European fire ants invaded parts of North America, they displaced native ant species, causing cascading effects through forest ecosystems. Warren's study in the Adirondack Mountains found that spring ephemeral wildflowers dependent on native ant dispersers declined by 43% in invaded areas over just 7 years. This demonstrates how disruption to this ancient partnership can rapidly alter forest composition. Myrmecochory also creates what ecologists call ant gardens, areas around ant nests with distinct plant communities. These microhabitats can harbor up to 125 times higher plant densities than surrounding areas, creating biodiversity hotspots throughout the forest. These ant gardens represent islands of enhanced soil fertility in otherwise nutrient-poor forest systems. The continuous deposition of organic material within ant nests, including the discarded elaiosomes, ant waste, and other detritus, creates enriched microsites where phosphorus and nitrogen concentrations can be 300 to 400% higher than surrounding soil. Rodriguez-Cabal's research demonstrated that these nutrient hotspots persist for decades after ant colonies have moved, creating long-term legacy effects that influence forest succession patterns. The spatial distribution patterns created by myrmecochory also provide critical protection against specialized seed predators. By dispersing seeds away from parent plants and distributing them non-randomly across the landscape, ants create complex spatial patterns that make it difficult for seed predators to locate food sources efficiently. Mathematical modeling by Kalish and Hanzawa showed that these dispersal patterns significantly reduce predation pressure compared to random or gravity-based dispersal. This protection mechanism may explain why Myrmecoccus plant species often show greater population stability than their non-Myrmecoccus relatives. The ants essentially create a living map of seed distribution that confounds would-be predators, providing an additional layer of protection beyond just the physical transportation of seeds away from the parent plant. This relationship between ants and plants represents one of nature's most successful postal services, operating continuously for over 100 million years. Recent advances in chemical ecology, genetic analysis, and microhabitat monitoring have begun to reveal the astonishing complexity of this system. What once appeared to be a simple transaction, ants carrying seeds, is in fact an intricate dance of coevolution with profound implications for forest biodiversity, resilience, and restoration. The biomass of seeds moved annually by ants makes these tiny insects among the most significant physical forces reshaping the forest floor. Yet this entire system operates almost entirely beneath our notice. The next time you walk through a forest and notice a tiny ant struggling with what appears to be an oversized seed, remember, you're witnessing a sophisticated postal service that has been operating successfully for millions of years, shaping the very composition of the forest around you. Understanding the intricacies of myrmecochory becomes increasingly vital for conservation and restoration efforts as we face unprecedented environmental challenges. Climate change, invasive species, and habitat fragmentation all threaten to disrupt this ancient partnership. When native ant communities are displaced by invasive species, the effects ripple throughout the entire forest ecosystem. Plants that have co-evolved with specific ant partners may fail to disperse effectively, leading to population declines and altered forest composition. Conservation strategies now increasingly recognize the importance of preserving not just individual species but the complex relationships between them. Restoration ecologists have begun incorporating knowledge of myrmecochory into their planning, ensuring that reintroduced plant communities have access to their ant dispersal partners. This relationship reminds us that nature's most consequential ecological processes often operate beyond our immediate perception, and that successful conservation requires understanding these hidden networks. The study of myrmecochory continues to evolve with new technologies allowing deeper insights into this relationship. Researchers are now using isotope tracking to follow the movement of nutrients from elaiosomes through ant colonies and back into the soil. Genetic studies are revealing how closely the evolutionary histories of certain plants and ants are intertwined, with some partnerships dating back millions of years. Climate change models are being developed to predict how rising temperatures might affect the timing synchronization between seed release and ant foraging activity. There's growing interest in how the microbiome of ant nests might influence seed germination and seedling health. As we develop more sophisticated tools for studying these interactions, we continue to uncover new layers of complexity in this ancient partnership. The field of myrmecochory stands at the intersection of chemical ecology, evolutionary biology, and conservation science, offering rich opportunities for future discovery and understanding of how these tiny interactions collectively shape our forest ecosystems. The story of myrmecochory reveals how seemingly small interactions can shape entire ecosystems over evolutionary time. This ancient partnership between plants and ants has been silently influencing forest composition, soil chemistry, and biodiversity patterns for over 100 million years. Through sophisticated chemical signaling, specialized physical adaptations, and complex behavioral modifications, both partners have maximized the benefits of this relationship. The resulting ecological networks create resilience in forest ecosystems, with ant gardens serving as biodiversity hotspots and nutrient reservoirs. As we face growing environmental challenges, understanding these hidden relationships becomes increasingly crucial for conservation and restoration efforts. Myrmecochory reminds us that nature's most important processes often occur beneath our notice, and that the health of our forests depends not just on the species present, but on the intricate relationships between them. This small interaction, multiplied across countless ants and seeds, represents one of nature's most successful and enduring partnerships, a testament to the power of coevolution and the remarkable complexity that emerges from relationships in the natural world. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. Your feedback is appreciated. We hope to see you again.